And how do you find dealing with agents? I guess you sound quite positive towards agents. A lot of buyers get very negative about agents and they really struggle with the whole quoting situation. Obviously, Melbourne's highly auction oriented, and so therefore the quoting, agents can quote down there as distinct to Brisbane, for instance, or Queensland. So how are you finding that experience?
Yeah, so I mean, I think I'm in a lucky position in that I have a couple of agents who I'm very close to who are more friends than agents. So everything, whether it's their properties or not, I am talking to them, I'm sending them, I'm taking them with me, and I'm lucky that they come through the property with me and they'll tell me what they think it is actually valued at or what they think it's worth for me to pay. So yeah, sort of working as a buyer's agent in a way for me. But yeah, that's what my go-to has been. Don't feel like I've really tackled anything on my own where I've actually been putting in a bid or at an auction without really knowing what the experts have thought about the property. But I understand not everyone has that access or that close relationship with agents either. So and I would go to them about everything too. So I'm a pain in their butt because I'm always like, hey, what about this? What about this? And what about this? So I'm just lucky that I can return the favour for them in different ways as well, and that they get me to go and do some leadership talks with their business. And I'm like, yep, happy to do that if you can help me. So.
Trade-off.
How wonderful to have a personal advisor.
Oh, exactly. I feel exactly very lucky that they're there, because otherwise I really would just be guessing.
And it's true. I mean, most people get to a point. I mean, you already said that when you bought your first apartment, the one thing I didn't touch on, luck or otherwise, is that you effectively threw all your money at it. Like you sort of gave up after 12 months. And that is sort of guessing still, isn't it? In the sense of, so I give up. Okay. If I can't afford it, I can't afford it. Yeah. But also I think that one of the challenges is when you're getting by or agents to help you is they'll get to a point where they think, oh, you're just a tire kicker. She'll never buy, and that's something that obviously buyers have got to be quite wary of when they're communicating with agents.
And also, what I've learned too is being honest with agents to a certain point. That, when they're taking down your details and you're leaving the property and they say, what did you think? You don't have to lie to them. You don't have to just rush over, oh yeah, no, it was great or whatever. Just be honest, because otherwise they'll harass you for the whole, next couple of weeks on the phone the whole time. And rather than ignore all their calls, like they could find you a property in the future too, if you're honest with them about what you're after and what you're thinking. So I used to be like, I just want to be nice to them. Whereas now I'm like, I'm just honest and make sure that, if I'm not interested, I let them know so they don't feel like they have to follow me up 10 times in the next 2 weeks. And I feel like a lot of people, there's a lot of fear around being honest with agents. Certainly keep, a little bit to yourself, but be honest about what you think, and they can help find other properties that they might have coming up that suit you better.
I think that's a key point, Bianca. Absolutely. Because if you're not honest with them, then how can they possibly tell you about anything that's coming up for sale or anything they might be aware of or anything that might suit you, even if it's not quite on brief? And sometimes these things are worth looking at.
And getting them to tell you how much things sell for too when there's clothes or something. I'm more, if they've come to me about the property, I'm like, can you let me know how much it sells for? And quite often they will, just, on a text message, because it's not going to go in the paper how much it goes for. Just so, again, you're collecting that knowledge along the way and getting a bit of a reading about how things are going.
It's so true.
Such a good point.
It's just the courtesy as well. It's just like you say, you're leaving the house, and they know then they don't have to call you. That sort of saves them a callback call. And then they're calling you and it's tomorrow. I've been a sales agent. I know what it's like. You're leaving these messages. People avoid you because people don't like agents. I think that having that sort of honest dialogue with people, with an agent is definitely in your favour.